So Festival of the Lost is here, and it's the exact same old that it has been for the last 5 years. But what has changed are auto rifles in the PvP sandbox. Amit got a zoom nerf along with a lot of auto rifles getting an overall range nerf in general. But more importantly, the adaptive frame or 600 RPM auto rifle archetype actually got an overall damage buff. Their base damage was increased from 14.25 to 15, whilst their critical multiplier was marginally reduced to 1.55 from 1.6, meaning a headshot from a 600 RPM AR would now hit for 23.3 instead of 22.8. Now I know this sounds like such an insignificant difference, but on an auto rifle, tiny increases can make a massive difference. This tiny shift in damage values actually makes the entire 600 RPM family of auto rifles more forgiving across the board across all resilience levels. At 10 resilience, it previously required 9 headshots out of 9 to kill. Now it will require 8 headshots in one body whilst maintaining that competitive 0.8 second TTK. I've already tried a bunch of adaptive auto rifles, including an Adept Summoner, the Perpetualis, and a few others, and there's one that is already standing out from the pack in a major way and dominating from the games I've used it, and that's the Suros regime. Suros, if you didn't know, is an exotic kinetic 600 RPM auto rifle that has 2 firing modes. The first, dual speed receiver, essentially slows down the RPM of the gun and increases the damage when you ADS, making it behave more like a scout rifle instead of an auto. In my eyes, this mode isn't that competitive, but you'll be glad to hear that after the patch, this mode did not receive a range nerf at all. The firing mode, which actually feels amazing now despite a range nerf, is spinning up, which essentially ramps up the firing rate of the gun whilst keeping the same damage profile as you hold down the trigger, and it actually gets faster in 2 stepwise increases. The first increase is from 600 RPM to 720 RPM, which actually drops the TTK down to 0.67 seconds, and then the second increase is from 720 RPM to 900 RPM, which drops the TTK even further to 0.53 seconds. So essentially what you have is a gun with an already amazing base TTK of 0.8 seconds, which is now more forgiving thanks to that recent buff, but also the weapon has the capability of absolutely melting that second or third person that challenges you in the same magazine. What's even better about the gun is it has 2 more exotic benefits. Number 1, the bottom half of the gun does even more damage than the top half, adding even more forgiveness to the gun than I've already mentioned. And number 2, on a kill, Suros actually has a chance to start health regeneration, much like Crimson, which is going to help you chain kills with ease. All of the clips you can see me using in the footage are actually without the catalyst. The catalyst, along with increasing the chance of getting those health regeneration procs, also takes that recoil direction from 50 to 100. So instead of the gun tilting to the left and actually being more difficult to control at those higher RPM levels, it actually becomes a laser beam with the catalyst. That's how powerful the gun is right now. It's bouncing all over the place without the catalyst, yet it still absolutely melts lobbies. So if there's a gun you want to take into the Crucible and try it first with this mid-season patch, it's definitely Suros. Forget the horror story or any of the other Festival of Lost weapons. If you enjoyed what I talked about today and found it remotely useful, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more Destiny tips and tricks, both PvP and PvE. I'm Mr. Ronit, and that's it for today. Peace out, guys.